Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Pittsburgh Steelers OT Broderick Jones struggled during his sophomore campaign in 2024, but Jones has taken steps to try and improve his game. Per The Athletic's Mike DeFabua, Jones lost weight this offseason and is now down to around 305 pounds after playing at 325 pounds last season. DeFabua added that Jones said that gives him leeway to add weight during the season and also will improve his mobility, which is one of his biggest strengths. I wanted to come back a little leaner just because it gives me a chance to gain weight going into training camp and throughout the season instead of coming back heavy and then having to lose weight just to gain it back. It's just a hard process, Jones said via video posted to Steelers.com. I just wanted to focus on coming back at a good enough weight to where I could maintain but also gain if I had to. I think I'm like 305-310-ish, somewhere in that range. Last year I played at 325, 330. Coming out of Georgia, Jones weighed in at 313 pounds at the NFL Combine. He played heavier last season, and now with less weight, he should be a more fluid mover. His ability to pull and work out in space was one of his best traits in college, and being a little bit lighter will be beneficial for that aspect of his game. The ability to add weight is also helpful, as Jones understands how to play heavier and has experience doing it. If he feels he needs to bulk up during the season, he'll be able to. For Jones, one of his biggest issues last season was his power and hand usage at the point of attack. Potentially being more mobile and fluid could help him fire out quicker, but if he feels he doesn't have the strength, he can bulk up as necessary. It's good to see Broderick Jones put the work in to better himself, as he's going to be a key factor in the success of Pittsburgh's offense this season. Depth along the entire offensive line is thin, but Pittsburgh doesn't have any real reliable option as a third offensive tackle yet. Calvin Anderson, Dylan Cook and Gareth Warren will compete for the swing tackle role, with Anderson having the upper hand, but he wasn't impressive in limited snaps last season. That means the onus is going to be on Jones, and Troy Fautanu, to have strong seasons, and with Jones' struggles last season, there's some concern about whether he can be a good starter. Putting in the work to slim down and presumably make himself a better player is a positive sign that Jones is serious about improving and that he can be the player the Steelers need him to be this season. Jones' improved mobility should also help Pittsburgh's run game if he can pull more effectively and be a good blocker in space, and an improved run game will go a long way toward making the Steelers' offense better. Hopefully for the Steelers, the work that Jones has put in manifests itself on the field and he can look like the player the team traded up in the first round for. JJ Watt knows what is, or what isn't, happening with younger brother TJ Watt and his contract situation. But he's not divulging any details. Joining the Pat McAfee show Wednesday, Watt was tight-lipped about TJ's status. "I have a lot of information on that subject," JJ Watt told the show. "That's not my subject to discuss." TJ Watt has skipped the first 2 days of voluntary OTAs, presumably due to his contract situation. Watt is entering the final year of the massive contract he signed days before the 2021 season began and is seeking another mega deal. The pass rusher market has heated up this offseason and ostensibly increased Watt's price. The Las Vegas Raiders' Max Crosby and Cleveland Browns' Myles Garrett received large paydays while the Cincinnati Bengals' Trey Hendrickson and Dallas Cowboys' Micah Parsons could be next in line. Speaking broadly about the outstanding contract situations of Hendrickson and others, JJ Watt made the point he offered earlier this year. "Signing players sooner than later is something teams should be motivated to do. Taking care of your guys earlier does a few things for you," he said. Number 1, it gets them locked in a lower price in the long run. I mean, you look at what prices are doing every single year, you get them locked in a lower price. Number 2, you're keeping them happy. On a previous McAfee show appearance, JJ Watt said the Steelers could have gotten a hometown discount had they signed TJ 2 years out. but that isn't a practice the team follows, and even in the final year of deals, Pittsburgh most often reaches deals later in the offseason. Now, the Steelers must be prepared to pay more for what than initially projected. Potentially more than Garrett's $40 million per season. Though what kept his comments to Hendrickson's contract stalemate, he pressed the point of the Bengals needing to get a deal done sooner than later and the benefits it creates beyond just the player. A signal the franchise sends that it takes care of players who mean the most to the team. Comments that could easily apply to his brother's situation. Without a new contract, TJ Watt is likely to skip the rest of the team's OTA practices that run through next week. The next notable line in the sand will be the Steelers' 3-day mandatory minicamp held June 10 to 12. He would be subject to fines if he skips it, and even if he shows, it's doubtful he'll be active in practice. If no deal is struck by training camp in late July, what could hold in the way he did in 2021, working on the side but not participating with the rest of the defense? The Pittsburgh Steelers could be putting together an expensive contingency plan in case Aaron Rodgers doesn't end up signing. Though insiders have suggested that Rodgers could be joining the team soon, the former league MVP has yet to give any kind of solid indication and remains a free agent. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler suggested that the Steelers have another veteran quarterback in mind who can take the reins if Rodgers doesn't come through. The Steelers made some big moves at quarterback this offseason, choosing to allow both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields to leave in free agency and bringing back veteran Mason Rudolph. That leaves the team with little path forward if Rodgers does not sign. Fowler reported that the Steelers could have their eyes on another option if Rodgers ultimately picks retirement over coming to Pittsburgh. "I would say Kirk Cousins," Fowler said when asked whether the team could have a replacement for Rodgers. "I had some conversations with people this week that led me to believe that Cousins is at the very least on the Steelers' radar if something were to fall through on Rodgers." Fowler noted that the Atlanta Falcons have a deep financial investment in Cousins, which could create difficulty as the team plans to move forward with Michael Penix Jr. for the 2025 season. Trading Cousins would require offsetting some of the money he's owed, Fowler added. Cousins has $37.5 million in guarantees between this year and next year, Fowler noted. Somebody's on the hook for that, whether it's Atlanta or someone else. So to facilitate a trade, Atlanta would need a team to offset some of that money, whether it's $4 million, $20 million, whatever it is. Cousins is seeking a trade, and may have sent a strong message to the team on Tuesday when he opted not to show up for voluntary practices. Falcons head coach Raheem Morris said he didn't see it as a big deal. "I don't think he'll be there," Morris said, via ESPN. "If he is, we'll welcome him with open arms. But I'm not going to be foolish enough to get myself worked up and angry about Kirk Cousins missing voluntary workouts." Cousins is in limbo just 1 year after signing a 4-year, $180 million contract with the Falcons. The team also drafted Penix, who is seen as the quarterback of the future. Though he has kept the Steelers waiting for nearly 3 months since the start of free agency, many insiders expect Rodgers will eventually sign with the team. ESPN's Adam Schefter said he believes the signing will come soon, with Rodgers joining the team before the start of mandatory minicamp in June. "My guess is he's going to wind up there," Schefter said, via SI.com. "I think that we've heard Art Rooney, the team owner, say he expects Aaron Rodgers to sign there, and they have mandatory minicamp June 10 to the 12th, so I would think Rodgers is on the table here in the next week or so."